Hello, my name is Yesenia. I'm with Designer Cuts Sewing Blog on Facebook and Designer Cuts at .blogspot.com. Today I'm going to show you about how to fortify your patterns. Normally when your pattern come out the envelope, your pattern is thin. You can see right through it. It's very weak. It tears very easily. Well, when you fortify it, those things will be taken care of. When you fortify it, it'll look like this. You can do that, which you cannot do with the tissue in its tissue form only. You can fold it and put it right back into the envelope that it came out of. And when you're ready to use it again, what you would do is just unfold it, take your iron and iron right on across it, just like you would do your patterns normally to straighten it out. And there you have it. So there's three things that we use for this process. My paper scissors, my iron, and it's called plastic coated freezer paper. This is 33.5 by 18 inches. I normally get it from Walmart. It costs approximately between $6 and $7. I feel like it's a good deal, so I get it. And those are the three things that we use. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is when you take the pattern out, of course, you will cut your pieces that you need. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your iron and you're going to just iron across the pattern, getting it as straight as possible. Any wrinkles, just like you would normally do with your pattern, a new pattern. Sometimes you just have to kind of pull on the edge there just to make sure a wrinkle is out. You want to get it real straight. And like with this one here, this one is torn some. So what I do is I try to definitely get those pieces that are torn. Now the first inclination is to just tape it. But we won't have to tape this. And I'm going to show you, but you will have to be very careful when you do this. Now, what you want to do is I leave a little bit. I don't leave this much normally, but I do leave some excess around the pattern on here. Now, once I have that ironed out, what I do is I take my freezer paper, and you want the shiny part facing up at you. And then I take my pattern and I lay it on my freezer paper. Just like that. These places where it's torn at, I try to set them very carefully, but I'm going to do that part last. I take my iron, and you only need it to medium. If you're able to do it on hot, you can. I've done this a while, so I'm able to do it on hot. I normally start from the middle and work my way out very smooth, very slowly across the pattern. Be careful not to get any bubbles. And don't roll off the edge of it. That's why you leave that excess around the pattern. That way you're able to actually iron right over the outside line. Again, I start from the middle, work my way out. Sometimes you do have to hold it, like in this particular case. quite get that little line out of there, but as you see, I'm finger pressing it right on out. Now what I want to do, I want to make sure that my pattern is laying in the little tear pieces, and I slightly touch those little tear pieces so that they are already stable before I iron the rest. Then once I'm done, take my shears. I don't get right at the edge really for this moment because I just want to cut it off first. And because I'm rather frugal, I don't want to cut off anything excess. Although you may have pieces that are big enough to use for smaller pattern pieces or just to fill in certain areas. I save those in a bag, and what I do then, I just cut a little close to the cutting line. And then what I do is just to take the iron and do one last sweep over it. That will seal in any edges. At this point, you can iron right over the edges. This is just to seal the edges. I like to go over it one more time. And a few pieces of tissue paper. And after you finish ironing the sides and just going over your pattern again, this is your new, stronger, fortified pattern. You can use your serrated tracing wheel on here and don't have to worry about it tearing. You can also, what I like to do when I am altering the pattern, I can take my pencil and mark right across it or on it and don't have to worry about it tearing. So thank you for viewing, and you have a great evening.